MCQ. Okay. So these are the questions. I discussed this with Janab on like when I took the extra class, but today I'll just repeat it. Okay. So first is define economic problem. Okay. So ma'am, what is economic problem? Basically, see, my main motive is to introduce you to the questions. Okay. Because answers you already know. The only thing is question. But there will be some question which will be confusing, which you don't know the answer. So that we will be discussing. Okay. So the first thing is define economic problem. You already know what is economic problem, right? So basically it is a problem of making a choice, right? So that's a problem is known as economic problem. Name the branches of economics. So two branches, micro and macro. Okay, clear?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, ma'am.
Next, what does the what does the downward slope of PPC indicate? So PPC, basically, what does the downward slope indicate? That as you will increase the production of one good, the production of other good will be fall. Why? Because we have very limited resources, right?
Yes.
And can an economy operate outside the PPC with a given resource and technology? This is very important question. Okay. Can an economy operate outside the PPC? This is your PPC, right? So if you have given resource and technology, with that help, that PPC, like you will be operating over here? No, ma'am. An economy cannot operate outside the PPC with given resource and technology, as combination outside the PPC are unattainable. So if your resources and technology are given, then of course you will be either operating on PPC or inside the PPC, not outside the PPC. Clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, teacher.
Yes. Next is it true to say that there would be no economic problem if there is no scarcity? Yes, ma'am. It is true because scarcity is the main cause of economic problem, right? So if there is no scarcity of resources, there will be no economic problem, right? Now the next thing is, what is an economy? It is a system which provides people with the means to work and earn a living. Like economy, you already know. If I'll say you don't have to write this, we did this. Economy is a framework within which economic activities and all that you'll write that one. Okay, so you are not going to copy paste the answers, because if you have already written any question or any answer for that, then you are not going to follow this. Okay. Scarcity, you also already know. Scarcity means that resources are limited in relation to its demand, right? That is a scarcity. And name the three central problem of an economy: what to produce in what quantities, how to produce, for whom to produce. Then you have to write two features of resources. Ma'am, resources are limited, resources have alternative uses. Fifth, can there be any economy without central problem? Answer is no, ma'am. Because as I told you, economic problems are basically, no matter whether you are developed or underdeveloped, all the economics problems, the common problem which all the economies faces, those problems are shown as central problem. So there cannot be any economy who is not facing any issue, right? The next thing is, yes. Why? I hope these questions are clear, right?
Yes,
Both
teacher.
Yes, ma'am.
Next is, why do economic problem arises? You already know the answer, right? For example, if your question is for 1 mark, then you are going to write only points. Scarcity of resources have alternative uses, all that. But if the question is for 4 marks, then you are going to explain them as well. Okay?
Okay, teacher.
Yes. Next is, why is it that on one hand, the coal is found plenty, yet it is scarce, while the rotten fruits is rare but not scarce? So you already know. Coal, basically, you can find them plenty, but still they are scarce. But rotten fruits you cannot find. You can really find them, but still they are not scarce. Why? Because as I told you, you will only say any particular resource is scarce if the demand is high and the supply is low, or the resource available are low and the demand is high. So coal is scarce because its demand is greater than its supply. On the other hand, rotten fruits is not scarce because there is no demand for rotten fruits. Okay. Next is, what is the problem of what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce? So you will be basically explaining it. Next, define PPC. You already know PPC is a graphical representation and all that. You know opportunity cost. Yes, ma'am. The value of next best alternative, foregone and all that. Then you already know marginal opportunity costs, right? Explain the concept with a hypothetical numerical. So this is the scenario. Basically, MOC is what is loss upon gain. So will take the example. For example, it's 100, 90, 70. You have to find MOC first. So first one will be dash always. Second, 100 and 10. What's the difference? 10. And how much you are gaining? 1. So its answer is 10. And again, 90 to 70, ma'am, 20. How much you are gaining? 1 extra unit. So 20. Then 70 to 40, ma'am, 30. And then 1, 30. And 40 to 0, ma'am, 40. And how much you are gaining? 1. So like this, you will find the MOC. So now you can check that MOC is basically increasing, right? 10, 20, 30, 40. So what will be the shape of the MOC? Like the PPC, it will be concave to the original, right?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
If in case your MOC is decreasing, what will be the shape?
Convex.
Yes. And if it is constant?
It will be straight. Straight line.
Now you have to draw the shape of PPC when MOC is decreasing, constant and increasing. So when it is decreasing, it will be convex. When it is constant, it is going to be straight line. When MOC increases, it is going to be concave, right?
Yes, teacher.
Next is, what is efficient technique of production? Okay, efficient technique of production means you are going to use a technique in such a way, you are going to use that technique which is going to give you maximum satisfaction at minimum cost. Like you are going to use your money less, but with that you are going to get maximum produce. Okay, so this is the efficient technique. So you will use that technique which will give you maximum profit and minimum cost. Okay. Next is, what is efficiency in production? So this is efficiency in technique. What is production? It means that alternative allocation Okay. So it means that an alternative allocation of resources cannot increase. For example, this is a word. From this, you can only produce 2 pens, right? So you cannot say that, ma'am, I'll adjust it and I'll produce 3 pens. No, you are not going to compromise with the quality, right? So it means that alternative allocation of resources cannot increase production of any commodity by even a single unit. If this resource, from this resource you can produce 2 pens, so you will only produce 2 pens. You cannot produce 3 pens. No, you cannot compromise with the quality. Clear?
Yes,
Yes,
teacher.
ma'am.
Okay. Next is, what is fuller utilization of resources and growth of resource, right? So fuller utilization of resource means utilizing resource to the full by avoiding wastage of resource or avoiding utilization or unutilization and underutilization of resource. So when you are not unutilizing means, for example, from this resource you can produce 2 pens, but you are only producing 1. That is underutilization, right? Okay. And for example, from this you can produce 2, but you are producing 0. That is unutilization, that you are not at all using it. Under means you are utilizing it in less terms, and un means you are not using it at all, 0 production. Okay, so fuller utilization of resource means utilizing resourcing to the full by avoiding wasting resource or by avoiding unutilization and underutilization. Next is growth of resource. So, ma'am, growth of resource means increase in supply of resource and thereby increase in production of goods and services. Clear?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
teacher.
Okay. Next is define microeconomics and macroeconomics. So, microeconomics is the study of individual units of an economy, household, firms, industry. And macro, ma'am, it is the study of aggregate unit of an economy or the study of economy as a whole. You already know the definition, so you'll write. Then what does a point on PPC indicate? So, for example, this is your PPC. The point on PPC will indicate utilization of resources, that you have fully utilized your resources. Then you have to give 2 examples of underutilization of resources. So, underutilized labor leading to mass unemployment. For example, you have 10 people in your country, right? And still you are not giving them job opportunities. So that is underutilization. Because of this, what is happening? Unemployment is there. People are ready to work, but you people are not, government is not offering them the job opportunity. So that is unemployment. That leads to unemployment when you don't use your labor properly. Next, lower production during the depression, right? So for example, with the help of 2 people, if you can produce 2 kg, With the help of 5 people, you will be able to produce 5 kg, but you are not giving jobs to these people. So who will produce for you? So because of that, low production during depreciation is there. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next is give two example of growth of resource. So first, this discovery of oil reserve in the Gulf countries causing the sustainable rightward shift to oil. For example, you suddenly found that you have oil reserves in your country. So that means there is an increase in resource for your country. So that is example of growth of resource. Next, supply of skilled IT profession has carried causing right. So basically, IT professional people came to your company, right? So what will happen? Basically, your IT sector will improve, and that is also a growth in resource. That we discuss that if you will leave the country, that is reduction in resource, right? But if someone will come to our country or you will come back to our country, that will be growth in resource. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, teacher.
Yes. Now next is what is rotation of PPC. You already know. What is shift? You already know. When it is for single product, okay, then it is rotation. When it is for both the products, then it is shift. Attainable, you already know. A, B, C, D, and P and R. These are attainable. These are unattainable. Okay. What are attainable and unattainable? You already know. So what are unattainable combination? The combination which cannot be produced with the help of given resources and technology are unattainable combination. These are indicated by point lying to the right of the PPC. Okay. Next is define normative economics with a suitable example. So normative economics basically deals with the statement which describe what ought to be, and you already know. For example, unemployment is better than poverty. This is a suggestion, opinion, right? So this is an example of normative economics. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'll just share this PDF with you people, but right now I'm just sharing my. You'll just give it a reading. Okay. And let me know once you are done so that I can scroll it down. So just be relaxed and just give it a reading. And if you feel like is there any question which you need to or any point you need to mention in your notes, you can mention it.
Ma'am, you told us that you will send that MCQs PDF also
Yes,
before.
yes. I'm just sharing it right now.
Okay. Teacher, your voice was actually breaking. Do we have to write this?
No need to write it. I'm just sharing it. I'm just mentioning that in case if you feel like there is any point that you can mention in your notes for your understanding, you can mention it. And I'm sharing the PDF, the entire PDF, so you don't need to write this. Okay.
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
Students have sent it and I think you got it. Just check it once. Janab,
Teacher,
it's
I
not
got.
delivered to you. Yeah, Laviba delivered. Janab, it's not delivered yet. You can check.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, I got it.
Yes. So either you can use a screen or you can use your mobile device to check the PDF. So whatever question I discussed, I'm giving you 10 minutes. You can revise it in an easy way. Okay. And let me know if you are facing any issue in these questions which we discussed. Then we'll discuss further questions. Okay.
Okay, ma'am, for sure. Okay.
Done, ma'am.
Okay. You did it from PDF?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh. So I'll just wait for 2 more minutes. Like when both of you are done, then I'll.
Teacher, we just have to revise, right?
Yeah, just a revision. Just give a reading.
Then I'm done.
Now this question. Okay. An economy always produce. This is the important question you'll be getting. When examiners set a tough question, na, the question paper, you get questions like this. So question is, an economy always produce on but not inside PPC. Defend or refute. Okay. So sorry. Okay. So sorry. Okay. Yeah. So basically, this production takes place on the PP, only on PPC. Okay. So you have to defend it or refute it. So this statement is refuted when resources are fully and efficiently utilized. The economy will operate on PPC. Right. You can say it. But if inefficient resources are there, then the economy will operate inside the PPC. Clear?
Yes, teacher.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you cannot say that economy always produce on, but not inside the PPC. It can, right? If you are not utilizing your resources in a good way, then it will operate inside the PPC. If you are using your resources in a good way, then yes, on the PPC. This A, B, whatever it is. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Next is massive unemployment will shift the PPC to left, defend or refute. Okay, so this statement is refuted. Massive unemployment is due to inefficient of resources, which does not decrease the capacity of economy to produce. Therefore, there will be no shift of PPC. Got the point? Because massive unemployment is there. People are not getting people are not getting job. But what is the relation of technology and resource with that? Right? There is no relationship between them that because of resource you are not getting employment. No, there is nothing like that. Right? So therefore, there will be no shift in PPC, and the economy will operate inside the PPC due to underutilization of resources. Clear?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, ma'am.
Next, a lot of people died and many factories were destroyed in an earthquake. So how it will affect the PPC? So this is also important question. The PPC will shift left. Why? Because due to earthquake, our resources got decreased. Right? During the earthquake or natural calamity, our resource destroyed. That's why the availability of resources and accordingly PPC, like the possibility to produce maximum, reduced due to destruction of resources, and because of this PPC will shift left. Okay.
Teacher,
Okay,
but
ma'am.
in this one, it is like the factory, right? It got destroyed and the people also died.
Yes.
So to find more people of
Hmm.
that to work who have that qualification, it will be hard, right? So for a few time they would be in loss itself because they
Yes.
will not be able to find people.
Yes. So because of that only, what is happening? Your PPC is shifting leftward, right?
Left.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's basically we need to focus on two things: one resource and one technology, right? No other factor, only these two factors. So see, for example, if you have two factories over here, right? So you have two resource, right? An earthquake came and they demolished somewhere, destroyed. So now you have zero factories. So where people will work? So basically your resource got decreased, right? So that's why
Yeah.
also your PPC will shift leftward. You don't have to give any other reason. You just have to focus on resource and technology. That ma'am, because resources are decreasing, the availability of resources is decreasing. That's why the PPC will be shifting leftward. Or if there is an increase in technology and resource, then it is going to shift rightward. Clear?
Okay, teacher.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now draw a PPC to represent the following. This is the important question. Underemployment of resource. So this fuller utilization on the PPC and growth of resource. Okay, clear?
Yes, teacher.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So we did this one before, I guess.
Pardon?
This fourth question, now we did the similar one before.
Yeah, today only or the prepare. I think earlier, na, we did it.
Yeah.
The points. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Next is Explain how the following problem be solved in the due to price mechanism. Okay, so basically, what to produce, how to produce, right? So basically, you all know these problems you won't be getting with the help of price mechanism. This is a higher order. Okay, clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, teacher.
Now state and discuss any two factors that will shift the PPC to right. You have already lots of examples written, so you can write any points. Okay. Next,
Okay, ma'am.
state any one assumption for the construction of the curve. You have already written 3-4 assumptions of PPC. You'll write any two or any three. Okay. So I'm just
Yes,
giving you,
teacher.
yeah, I am just giving you 5 minutes. Quickly go for higher order thinking. Then we'll skip to, we'll go to the next part, the value based question.
Okay, teacher.
Ma'am, for this first question, do we have to draw the diagram also?
Pardon?
This higher order thinking skills. In this first question, we have to draw the diagram also?
This one.
Yeah.
Basically, if it is mentioned that yes, draw diagram or explain with the help of diagram, then only you need to draw. Otherwise, no need to draw. Okay.
Okay, so just
This
we'll
is,
let the point.
yeah. If it is mentioned that draw, like explain with the help of diagram. If it is
Okay.
mentioned, then you have to. But in case if not, then explanation is enough. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
But
Thank
if
you.
you will draw it, it's not like your examiner is not going to deduct the marks. It is, if you have time, you can draw it. Others, don't waste your time because you have right now. It's not. It's just a one chapter, but you will get numericals as well. So no need to
Yeah.
waste your time on diagrams. Okay, but you
Okay,
have
ma'am.
time, you can. But for example, if it is for 4 marks, definitely you can write. Or others, it is for 2 marks. The explanation is enough. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
So teacher, I'm done.
I'm done, ma'am.
Okay, both of you done, right?
Yes.
Now the value-based question. Okay. So the basic economic problem is that there is an oil shortage in India. What measures do you suggest to meet the growing oil demands? These are the value-based questions, right, that you get related to PPC only. So basically, there should be optimum use of oil as it is scarce. You already know oil is very scarce, right? So you should use it in efficient way, right? Next, there should be massive awareness on shortage of oil and people should be encouraged to use public transport, carpools and all that. See, students, one more thing. Whenever there is a value-based question, there is no fixed answer for that. Okay, so for example, if Laviva is writing this point, she'll be also getting marks. If Jainav is writing this point, she'll be getting marks. So it is not like if Labiba wrote something that is going to be right, and if Jainav will write it, it will be wrong. Or if Jainav is writing it is the right answer, Labiba's is wrong. No. For value based, it can be anything, right? It is your, so basically there are high chances you can score well because there is no particular answer for value based question. So if you get any value-based question in the exam hall, then think whatever you will be writing, but you should write at least good points, right? You cannot ask, for example, they are asking you how they can reduce oil shortage. And you are suggesting that people should more amount of oil in their household. So that is wrong, right? But whatever suggestion you will be getting, that they will be counting and your marks won't be getting deducted for that. Okay?
Teacher, I have one question, okay? Teacher, how is there the scarcity of oil in India? Like, there is coconut oil, cooking oil, many oil. Then how is the oil
Yeah.
scarce?
But basically the oil is like, you can say there are different types of oil, right? So basically
Yeah.
oil is also considered as petrol and all that. That's a shortage. India basically, export oils and all that, the product related to oil and oil, because India don't have their own oil mills and all. So that's a shortage. Because of this, you can say there is a shortage in India. So how you will suggest that people should meet the demand and all that? So basically you will first suggest that people that you should optimize, you should use oil resources in a wise way, plus you should create a like people see, for example, I'm using oil. If I'm not aware that this oil is scarce, I will be keep using it. Sometimes I will waste it. But if you will update me or if you will inform me that this is a scarce product, you should use it wisely, then I'll be keeping things in mind, right? So this is what you
Yes.
need to do with people, right?
Yes, teacher.
Yes. Next is the state government has sanctioned a certain amount of increased production in rural areas. With technique of production, will you suggest that the state government for this project? So basically, they want to increase production, right? So which technique you will be using? You will be suggesting them labor-intensive
Labor.
technique. Why? Because in rural area, most of the people are unemployed, right? So if it will generate employment opportunity. That's why you are going to suggest that uh, the government should use labor intensive technique instead of capital intensive or the mixed one. Okay?
Okay, teacher.
Yes. Next is invention of new technologies and discovery of new resource will solve the central problem completely. Defend or refute. So statement is refuted. The invention of new technology and discovery of new resources will expand the production possible capacity surely, but our central problem will not be completely solved because unlimited human wants remain ahead of the available resource, right? So that's why you refuted it, right? That if you will introduce technology and new resources, then what will happen? Until unless you cannot do things with wants, right? Your wants are basically recurring; they'll repeat no matter what. So you cannot say that if you will introduce new technology and new resources, the central problem, they will be solved. Basically, no, it won't be happening, right?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, ma'am.
You can say if you will introduce, for example, the question is if you will introduce new technologies and new resources, that will shift your PPC to rightward. So yes, it will. But they are talking about central problem, that it will solve the central problem plus they are saving completely. So no, nothing like that. It won't be solving the problems completely, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay. Next
teacher.
is, yes, production in an economy is below its potential due to unemployment. Government start employment generation schemes explain the effect. So basically, see, there was unemployment, right? So now government started employment generation. So basically, for example, you can see your resource were here. Now they are generating, right? So there is no resource. PPC representation different combination of two goods which can be produced with a given resource, assuming resources are fully and efficiently utilized. Technique of production remain unchanged. Due to unemployment, an economy operates inside the PPC. Okay, because of that underutilization of resources, if a government start employment generation scheme, the output will increase and may lead to fuller utilization of resources on PPC. But there will be no rightward shift or the leftward shift for the PPC, right?
Yes, teacher.
Right
Yes,
now,
ma'am.
right now the resources underutilization. So if government will generate schemes, it now your resources will be fully utilized. Okay, but there will be no shift in PPC. This is your PPC. It will not shift either here nor here. Okay.
Because they were underutilized.
Yeah, they were underutilized. So now
Okay.
you are going to make them fully utilized. Okay. So once they
Okay,
are
ma'am.
fully utilized, only then they can shift either right or either left. Right. But they are already under. So first they have to make themselves capable to come on PPC. Only then they can shift. Right.
Yes,
Yes,
teacher.
ma'am.
Next is for a development project, logs of woods and other building material have to be carried to upper floor of building under renovation by the labor. Alternative elevators and lift can be used to do this job. Which one will you choose and why? So basically they are asking you to choose a technique. So I will choose the second alternative as it will save cost and time, right? See, you have to carry people, you have to carry things from first floor to fifth floor. And if you use human resource, they'll take time. Plus, you have to pay them as well, right? So you will choose the second one. You will be using the elevators so that it will be saving your cost and the time. And it is the efficient technique and to complete this task. Labor may be utilized for some other labor specific task. Okay. But for example, this is your room. This is your room. And now from here, these are your bags. Now you want to keep them inside your bedroom or somewhere, so that you cannot do with the help of machine intensive or the capital intensive technique. You need labor for that. But yeah, for carrying out the product from first floor to the upper floor, you have to use elevators because of course it will save your time, plus it will save your cost.
Teacher, I have one doubt.
Yes.
Teacher, once the elevators, they don't work or they have some problem, you have to call the electrician or whatever to, I mean, to what should I say? Like it is stopped working elevators, but then after that you have to pay again, right? So
Yeah.
somehow it is taking your cost. Like okay,
Yeah, you
cost, but then after once the elevator stop working and there is some problem in the elevator, you have to pay more money than the labor.
Yeah, but for example, if you are if some laborers are taking your product, right, and somehow they broke it, so what will happen? This can happen, na? For example, I am carrying your suitcase, okay, or I am carrying your bag, and somewhere I fell down, okay. And then what will happen? Yes. So anything can happen. Like if you'll think logically, then lots of things can happen, right? But as being a rational people, we'll be thinking that okay, elevators are good example as compared to human resource for this task, right?
Yes, ma'am.
We can think anything like that. Okay, Zainab. Clear, Labiba? Labiba, am I audible?
Teacher, you cannot hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
No,
Yeah,
I'm clear with
you were,
it.
I think, on mute. Okay. Okay, so let's just do next question, which is our country resources are fully and efficiently employed. The problem of scarcity exists. What advice will you give to raise the efficiency level of human resource to fight scarcity? So human resource development in the form of increased expenditure on education, skill development, and through on the job and off-job training can fight scarcity. So basically, you will suggest the country that you should spend more on education. You should educate people. You should spend more money on skill development of people so that you can offer them good jobs and they can be a good asset for the country, right? So this is how you can fight scarcity, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So yeah, so I'll just give you 5 minutes. You'll quickly revise the value based questions and then we'll just quickly discuss these questions. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I'm giving you people tasks. These are the questions you can see. Okay, from here itself. You have your PDF. Just quickly read the questions and just give it a reading. And just I'm just giving you 5 minutes for this. Just read the question and just, for example, here it is written, state any two causes of economic problem. You already know. So, is there any question which you feel like you cannot answer? Okay, or you are confused? So you can just give it a reading. Just read the questions and let me know. Is there any question you are feeling like, ma'am, what should we write in this question?
Okay, teacher, but do we also have to write the answers?
No. Just give it a reading. Questions. Question
We
reading.
just have to check whether we can answer
Yeah.
it by ourselves or
Yes.
not.
Yes.
Okay,
Just so
okay,
that
teacher.
in case if you are facing any issue, I can help you with this, like what you are going to write.
Okay, teacher. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. No doubt.
Doubt? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Done.
Okay. So I hope no query for any question, right? Even the numerical portion.
Yeah, ma'am.
Teacher, everything is clear.
Okay. So then I'm expecting full marks from your end, right?
So
Yes,
tomorrow
ma'am.
you will
Inshallah.
take the test?
Yeah, I will take the test in next class.
Okay.